my people. Welcome to the third rendition of the exclusive Kody Brown during season 19 interview. The first two episodes were enlightening to say the least. Happy Monday, you guys. I'm glad that we are back. Yeah, just to let you know from the top, this has been a lot to go through. We're going to do some highlights. We'll do that tomorrow. After we finish this full video, I just need time to process my thoughts. And yeah. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go over kind of the highlights, the biggest revelations that we've seen, some things that you guys are saying that you're a little perturbed by, that you have questions about. So we will do that tomorrow. It's a deep dive into the deep dive. So welcome back. I see everyone in chat. For all of our replay gang, we wish you were here, but that's okay. Listen, life happens. Where are we? Let's see this. Dawn is like number 32. You guys, thank you so much. You guys are rock stars for liking the stream even before it begins. So please like the video. What like number are you? I see everyone saying hey in chat. All right. So episode 2, it was very interesting. I thought that we were going to get more into sister wives, and Kody kind of talked about his religion a little bit more, which was it was enlightening, but we're mostly here to hear, the scenes from behind, or basically behind the scenes of the show. So hopefully he gets into it now. That's what we're hoping. So let's start this interview, shall we? Let's go.
Purport, not faith in Joseph Smith, or even faith in the Book of Mormon. The Book of Mormon's design was to be a second witness to Jesus Christ. And if maybe I just don't need the witness, I just found it very difficult to read again.
Yeah. There are several fundamentalist groups out there that do polygamy. I'm wondering if you have any thoughts, having lived it, having gotten the teachings on polygamy, having understood why in your system God commanded it. Again, there's a whole host of breakoffs of Mormonism that do it. I'm curious what your thoughts are on what fundamentalist Mormonism could do to better ensure healthier, happier, polygamous families, because I would like it to end. I'd like all these groups to just stop it. But the reality is they're going to be doing polygamy forever. So that's not really an option. But what maybe is an option is to convince the leaders of these systems that the way they do things is really unhealthy and maybe there's a better way to do it. I'm curious, if just from your experience, if you have any thoughts on how these systems could better operate in that doctrine.
These systems are all empowering the men at the top. It's a bunch of BS. It's about them having power and control over their people. So they're signing marriages, and in order to keep their daughters virgins, they want them to marry when they're young. And they have a whole philosophy that I struggle with, because it's control and power, and it's not the freedom of choice that people actually need. And there's pressure. I don't know how you unwind that. I think that, let me start with this, because I'm confused on how I would answer it, but let me start with this. There came a point in my life when none of my wives wished any of our daughters into plural marriage. We basically came to a point as a family, kind of not even discussing it, just all of us kind of came to this point where we were like, I don't want my daughter entering into plural marriage. That's a tell. So let's go back to this question that you've got. How could they correct the mess they're in? Well, move into the century. What's the average marrying age now? Stop trying to marry people off when they're 19 and 20.
Amen. Yeah, make it 25, 30 before someone can make that kind of decision.
Well, they're looking for babies, and you have a window. Okay,
easy to manipulate. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Okay, listen. Now, here's the interesting thing in the church, and you can check these statistics, but these are statistics somebody told me. When plural marriage was accepted and normal in the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, the average woman would have 5 children. After that, for many years into the 60s and 70s, I think the average woman had 8 children.
Sorry, I gotta pause this for a second because he said something. Honestly, I've been thinking about it since he said it like 2 minutes ago. So forgive me for not pausing it then, but I didn't even know what to say because I was at a loss of words. I'm like trying to go into my brain, like, what? Like I said, I do not speak fluent Kody, but don't you find it odd? Maybe it's just me that he's saying that he would never want polygamy for his daughters. I mean, the reason that I say that is he's said this whole time that this has nothing to do with him, right? His wife's leaving him didn't really have anything to do with him. It was just a happenstance by circumstance. He said how it's unfair for everyone in polygamy, right? It just feels weird to me because I feel like for the wives, so Mary, Christine, Janelle, even Robin, I guess, if they were the ones to say, you know what, polygamy is unfair to our girls and women, I would understand that a little bit more. But if he's supposedly this, perfect polygamist who's done no wrong, then why would he have this inherent need to say, I don't want my daughters in this? I don't know. Maybe I'm being a little bit too critical, but if he didn't experience it and he doesn't see polygamy as a bad thing, and he's the polygamist, he's the one that kind of benefits from everything. I'm having a hard time racking my brain of that because what he's saying is, I don't want my daughters to experience what I gave to their mothers. That's like a tacit admission, which he's never said on the show. But once again, it kind of reminds me of Kody speak. So like it's always a math problem and this math formula that I'm trying to figure out. Anyway, so this whole time my brain has been stunted and I feel like I'm just like on reboot, like wait, and I'm trying to calculate it in so many ways. It's not making sense to me based on everything that he's said. I don't know. I don't know. Let me get chat. What am I? Chat, hold on. Am I going crazy? Let me see. Hold on. Patsy said, I'm gonna try to watch this jerk, but it's gonna be hard. Okay, fair. Shell said, yup, that's what he said. Okay, you guys are laughing. I'm so confused. All right. Victoria said he said the men at the top are the problem, but he won't admit he's one of those guys. Yeah, so you are the example that these oh my gosh. Kody, you like talk out of your ass. You're admitting that what your wives went through is horrific. The only experience that your girls have of polygamy and what you guys know of polygamy, because you didn't grow up as a polygamist, is what you did in your own family. You, as the head of the family, and you don't want your daughters to experience that. So, what is that saying about your behavior towards the women? If you haven't you guys heard, I know you guys have heard the term like treat. You can tell a man's behavior by the way like he treats his mom. Um this is kind of similar in the fact that these girls see how their mom is being treated and Kody's saying, yeah, hell no, they deserve way better, but he's never admitted that to any of us. It's always they wanted more than they should have, right? I mean, what are all the excuses? Chat, help me out because like 100 brains are better than one. What are the excuses that he's given? Uh, jealousy. What does he say? He says, "Oh, I'm trying to think." Because see, Kody, you completely garbled my brain. Like I was fine before, and now you took it for a whirlwind tailspin. Okay, he said, oh gosh, there's so many excuses. Jealousy is the root of all their problems. Stop comparing. Just be happy with what you have. Like, what else has he said? Uh, he, in he can't. It's because of his wives that he can't trust any of them, and that's the only reason that he can't be intimate with them is because they don't that he can't be trusting with them. What else? Like, this is so weird. Yeah, comparison is a thief of joy. Thank you. What? I'm Megan, you were hilarious. Megan said, go get the popcorn for the list of excuses. We're going to be here for a while. I know. Okay, that's a good one. Love is multiplied, not divided. My kids are an impediment to my goals. Yes. Oh, right. He also said during the dinner in Alaska that it's unfair, women waiting for his attention. He said he's being tired of being a rag doll and it's his body. Yes, lack of loyalty. So wouldn't you say, Kody, that's what it just doesn't make it. You're admitting that your behavior towards your wives has been atrocious. But he doesn't realize that that's what he's admitting. He doesn't realize that. Otherwise, if he really thought that he was so benevolent to his wife, and maybe I think I understand it. I think I just was able to speak fluent Kody. Get this, you guys. Here's my theory. He just admitted that unconsciously. I don't even think consciously he's processed that in his brain, what he just admitted. I think unconsciously, why can't I say that word right now? I'm telling you, he's frying my brain. My brain is melting right now over the formulaic nature of his word vomit. Like, I'm trying. I just went in brain overload. I'm sorry. What the hell was it? I'm sorry. Anyway, wait, thank you, Mima. What? Oh, Mima! I didn't even see that. Thank you, Mima. Thank you so much for the 5 gifted memberships. You are amazing. Thank you so much. You guys put some love in the chat for Mima. And if you did get a membership, start using your emojis now. You got some new emojis. Kathy said, IQ, I ate the gummy. Kody already fried my brain. Yeah, I am so like, wow. Okay, so if you guys have anything else to say about that, let me know, because what Mama Cat said, maybe his brain is fried too. That's what happened to his hair. Dang, burn. All right, let's keep going. Sorry. Oh, okay. All right, Kody. Okay. Maybe I can get it together after this. My mind needs time to regenerate.
8 children. I think it was a lot easier on those women to have 5, and so what does a government want? So they can print more money, more population. What does a church want? So they can get more tithing, more population.
Yeah.
So they're perpetuating, because a birthing window for most women is, like, let's let them at least be adults. So we got 20 to 40. You got 20 years. They're trying to warm bodies are not machines that can only make money. A famous song, a favorite band of mine, Live. Well, good women are not machines that can only make babies. Yeah. And in these cultures, their dispositions are minimized. Now, I love motherhood. I love women who want to have children, and I've had a lot of children. And I'll be honest with you, if I would have married in monogamy, I would have wanted to have 8 or 10 kids with one woman. And the average in my family is less than 5 per wife. Not necessarily by choice. It would have been, the average would have ended up probably being, would have probably been, but I had 2 wives who chose to end at 6, and they didn't feel any pressure to have any more after that. So these churches need tithing, they need people, they need brains to brainwash, and if
okay, so once again, maybe, and you guys tell me if you're like, IQ, you're thinking about this way too much. But Is he once again, because he never just speaks directly, which really just infuriates me. But is he trying to say, because he just said if he were to be monogamous, he would have wanted to have about 10 children with his monogamous partner if he only married once. But women only on average have about 5 children. So he says one thing and then he taketh away. So is he saying that he probably never could have been a monogamous because he probably would have at least needed 2 wives to fulfill his goal or his dream requirement in life of having 10 children? Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, he gives one thing and then he takes it away. And I'm trying to okay, so then what did he mean? I'm just trying to get to the meaning of what you're saying with your word vomit, Kody, because it's really infuriating that once again, I feel like this is a math problem. Have 10, take away 5. The answer, he makes it seem like it's 10, but no, it's really 5. Do you understand what I'm saying? That's why it's confusing. So he validates it by saying he would have wanted 10, but he knows that women normally it would be about 5 on average. So the fact that he would have his wife do double that in 20 years, 10 children, that's one child on average every 2 years from the time she's 20 to 40. That's a big ask. So that's why I'm like, well, is he actually saying that he would have at least, regardless, he probably couldn't have been monogamous? Do you understand what I'm saying? That's why it's confusing. Or maybe my brain is sick. And if so, then it's time for me to be introspective. Okay. Which is fine. He infuriates me the way that he speaks. Or am I, do I need to ramp it back? Chat, let me know. Seriously, if I need a lesson that I need for myself, I'm totally fine with that. Right, Miss Molly? That's my point. 10 kids with one wife. How many women can withstand that? Which is why he kind of walked that back. That's what I'm saying. This is so infuriating because every time I hear this man speak, it's a math equation. Not just math, it's like algebra. And I was horrible at algebra, so maybe that's on me. Exactly. Well, that's another thing. This is contributing to my theory of he's like this stupid tacit admission where he's kind of saying it but not saying it directly. He's confuses the hell out of me. Okay, Danny said ain't no way Robin wanted more than 5. She has. She had nannies for the last 2. Agreed. Mama Cat said choose to end at 6 for real. Christine's last pregnancy was high risk and thinks she should have more. He could barely feed the children he already had before the show came along. True. Let alone only income for one wife that we know which one wife he would have chose and what that was 60,000 in Victoria's Secret debt. I mean, not looking too good. Allegedly. But that's why let me see what else you guys are saying. He's so confusing. Narcissist be narcissist. Narcissistic be narcissist. True. Or narcissists be narcissists, basically. True. Yeah. And so what if that happens where there's infertility issues? Are you once again, Kody, saying like odds are it wouldn't have worked out? Even if religiously I didn't want to go that route, I probably would have had 2 women anyway. Like there's so many ways there's so many ways this could go, and it's just killing me that I don't have a direct see. Like if I was Bill Hader right now, I would be asking so many follow-ups to make sure. Just me personally, and maybe that would like irritate you guys. I get it. So maybe Bill is like doing it the right way, but for me, I would need more clarity, and I would be like, wait, what did that mean? Because you just contradicted yourself, but in a very nonchalant way. So what does this mean? Kody would probably walk off. He'd probably get irritated with me because every 2 seconds I'd be like, wait, so but what does that mean? Anyway, okay. All right, let's keep going. Hopefully I don't have to stop again. But maybe there's more algebra to come. We'll see. But Kody, please, from now on, just be straightforward so I don't have any more weird questions where you talk back what you just said. Please. Please.
And so none of them would listen to me. I'm the failed polygamist who put egg all over their face. now. But my advice would be to let them have a happy life. So one, allow them to choose who they marry, both men and women, because in some of the sects, the women get to choose who they marry and the men don't. Other sects, like the men get to stack them up, and depending on if you're kissing the behind of the prophet enough, you're going to end up with a lot of wives. Ridiculous.
Yeah.
Fit your number that works. Like what is the Quran will only allow 5 wives, or is it 3? I don't even know. But holy cow, 10, 12 wives? Give me a break. Is that a life for a woman to have? I mean, I had 4 wives and it was hard for them. I think my wives would have been, if my family would have been smaller, it would have been maybe easier. But the more wives you have, the more likely your failure rate. And that's just statistically out of my own church. They say, once you get more than 3 wives, the ratio of failure.
Okay, that's something I need to take note of. Hold on. I want to know. Okay, so he says that statistic came from his church. We're going to have to fact check that, because that's very convenient for an excuse as to Robin coming into the family and everyone saying she ruined everything and him excusing that. So is that something made up? Is this Kody word vomit? Or did it really happen? We are going to be researching the hell out of that to see if that's quoted anywhere to corroborate what he's saying. Because I'm calling BS. I could be wrong, but my gut is telling me that is BS. Look at his face. He looks like the cat that ate the canary. That is BS. Listen, we the people have questions, Kody. Megan, you've been on fire lately. Yes, exactly. I don't believe it. So yes, that's something that we're going to be doing research on, and we're going to be discussing tomorrow. Ridiculous. Or maybe not. I will seriously concede if we can find it somewhere. I will listen. I can admit when I'm wrong. Unlike some people, some powerless couples, I can admit when I'm wrong.
Exponentially higher.
Yeah.
But I have people I know who are still successful in plural marriage, even with more wives, with 5 or more wives.
Yeah.
So I like me, it's all about choice. And it's really like back off with the pressure. Don't make plural marriage the end all be all. But I think that's coming from the man. You go into a church that allows more than 1 wife, it invites a certain kind of guy, very possibly. I'm not really sure. But see, it was my mom who bore her testimony of plural marriage to me and read me Section 132 when I was 14 that made me go, yeah, I'm going to live plural marriage. It was easy for me to sign up, though. I was a guy. She didn't have to pound that into my head. I bought with 1 testimony.
And a 14-year-old guy to boot.
Yeah. And well, I believed, I believed what I was reading, and I believed my mother. Interesting that it was my mother perpetuating plural marriage, but and she was a real believer all the days of her life, So but these sects, okay, choice. Let a little get some college degree. If you want people who are going to be successful in plural marriage, give them a chance to leave the culture. Because let them go to college and get a degree and figure out a way to support themselves. If a guy has 4 wives, he better have really, really smart wives who are industrious and educated. Otherwise, he's going to be just squalor and poverty. It's a tough place, and but it's hard for me to believe that it's not.
Hold on. So if he's really preaching that, do you remember when Mary wanted to go back to school and finish her degree? And Kody pretended like he was supportive, but he wasn't really. He was supportive of what Robin wanted. And remember, Robin wanted her to stay at home and help her with My Sister Wife's Closet. And I think maybe even help her out with the kids. Maybe not. Maybe it wasn't the kids. Maybe it was just the business venture. But either way, Robin wanted her to stay at home and not go to school because they had promised to do My Sister Wife's Closet together. And Kody played the game correctly. Like, well, Mayor, that's great, but what do you think Robin thinks? He did it in a politically correct way. I guess when they were at dinner or lunch or whatever. But I mean, she ended up not doing it. She was basically guilt tripped into not going back to school. So once again, I mean, the funny part is, yes, if Mary had gone back to school, that would have benefited him greatly financially, because we know that that's what Kody wants. But yeah, I find that very interesting. Let's see. Oh gosh. Doretha, that is crazy. What is all this doll talk? I keep seeing dolls. Dolls, dolls, dolls. Dolls, dolls. There's a lot of doll talk here. Tina said, Robin didn't want Mary to better herself. Just have Mary make money for them. Also, maybe Mary would have met someone. Yeah. Yeah, very true. Very true. Robin said, Kody would not tolerate you interviewing him simply because you are female. Look how much he disrespects Sookie. Not sure how her name is spelled. Yeah, agreed. Agreed, Robin. So true. Robin spent family money on dolls. Meemaw. Oh, really? That's fitting. That's apropos, isn't it? Why didn't we see any of the dolls in the house? Why did they hide them? That's interesting. Robin is buying doll outfits that are pricey for American Girl dolls. Is that like a collect? Is American Girl dogs girl dogs? Oh my gosh, girl dolls. Is that now a is that a collector's item? Can that be worth money later? She spent $61,000 last year on dolls. How do we know this? Who has the receipts? Who is telling on Robin? Who hates her that much that information is getting out? This is all alleged. Their assets? Okay. I know there's some weird collectibles out there. Is that what she's trying to do? Invest? She thinks this is a good investment? I mean, but is there proof? Is there proof, or is this gossip? Like, do we actually have like literal receipts, or is this coming from like just a source? Do you know what I mean? There are pics of it. Who's telling on Robin? Or is Robin telling on herself? This is so weird. Her actual eBay her actual Etsy account is public. It's on Reddit. Wait, so she's buying them on her Etsy account and you could see what she's bought? I don't know. I don't get it. That's weird. How is it? Wow. So when you're on Etsy, other people can see what you've bought on your Etsy account. Sorry. I mean, I don't care. That just sounds like an invasion of privacy. Like, and I'm not saying that. I'm just trying to be objective. Like, as far as I don't even care if it's Robin. Like, let's just say it's because, once you establish a precedent, that's going to not only affect people that you can't stand, but also people, that you love. So, like, for myself or my family members or whatever, I would hate for them to have an Etsy account, but then anyone can just somehow see what, I don't know, you're selling something or you have an account. Someone can just go on your account and see everything that you've purchased. Like, to me, that's an invasion of privacy. I don't care who it is, even if it is Robin. That's just weird. I didn't know that they should remove that ability, in my opinion. That's too much. To me, that's like as intrusive as like we have YouTube accounts, right? And like somehow I could go to your YouTube account and see everything that you watched. Like, forget that. Like, F that. No one should know that. Like, that's private information. I don't like that. Etsy should change that. Even if it is Robin, like, I'm just saying that from the truth, like, regardless of who it is, I just think that that's kind of messed up. But wait, Coffee said, so it's rumor as far as actual purchase. Oh, good. Okay, good. So far it's rumors as far as actual purchases. It's more like socials where you see reviews and shops followed. Okay. Oh, okay. So she's leaving public reviews. Okay, well that's different. Okay. Sorry, I was about to go on a rant there. I was like, what the hell is going on? Okay. Julie Owen says it's reviews. She left public reviews. Well, that's different, right? So, like, if I left a comment on whatever, on whoever's channel, obviously I don't mind people knowing that it's me and, what I'm saying. Okay, well, that's different. Okay, so she did public comments. I'm just trying to get the full gist of it. She did public comments on an Etsy page and said something similar to like, "Oh, I love the dolls. They're so great." Something that implies that she bought them. Is that what I'm thinking? Her Etsy reviews. Okay, so Etsy reviews where it says like purchased, and so you're just adding up everything that she's bought, kind of thing. Okay. Mima said, "Yep, you got it." Okay. Ah, okay. Over and over, she reviews all that she bought. What is Robin? You have a lot of time. Okay. There are some there are some changes that I'm going to have to do to some of my snarky videos. And especially now that I think about it, I think I'm going to have to change the play music video because every time that Kody says he doesn't have time to play, actually, and I have their name, I screenshotted it, but I don't remember it off the top of my head. But someone said, and it was a brilliant idea. They said, you should show when Kody says he doesn't have time to play him being on the four-wheeler, the ATV with Robin, because he is playing. And also, I guess Robin leaving Etsy reviews when she's playing with her dolls. I mean, if you don't call that having time to play, I don't know what is. So there will be a revision to the play music video. I'm just saying. That's ridiculous. Okay, so let's keep going.
Not really about the self-aggrandizement of the leaders in all of these sects. They're worn out. These leaders are worn out. They're tired. They're sort of sick of it. But yet and I don't think they believe it. None of them get revelation. Come on, liar. Yeah. They're at best they're inspired, and but see, that's my criticisms coming from a place where I've been so far removed from it. I don't even know. I just don't believe their BS. You tell me that God's telling you something for me? No. God will tell me. I'll go talk to him. Yeah. Okay.
No, I don't need an intermediary. I'm right here if he wants to speak to me.
I'll allow if it's true and I'm still an if person, I've got faith, but I don't know because I've never met Jesus. But I'll let him be the intermediary because I believe in that. But I'm not going to let Joseph Smith be my intermediary. What a messed up life. I'm not going to let any of these other leaders do it either. And so it's like the only way I think that these cultures are not going to survive without the forms of conviction that they are using. They're just not going to survive unless they're just pounded into their heads. And so that's what they're going to do. And by having that pounded into your head as a kid, you're just going to lose. You're going to buy it because it's pounded into your head, or you're kind of going to go, you know what? I'd like a normal life.
Yeah, totally.
But I don't know the answers because I've had way too much experience to feel like I should be the one being asked. But I'm giving you just my personal opinion. And totally. Every man, woman, and adult child has to choose for themselves what their path will be that they pursue.
Yeah. Phone bank is full, RFM. I want to check in with you and see if you had anything else you wanted to ask. Otherwise, we'll go to the last segment of the show where we take live calls. Again, anybody in that phone bank, the questions need to be respectful. We're excited to have you on the show, but we really are trying to have a respectful, cordial interview and allow Kody to share who he is. And I just want to kind of lay that out to begin with.
If it's
so
full,
RFM,
If it's full and we only have a few more minutes, if there's a question that I really don't know the answer to or can't really conjure up a question,
there's 3 phone
let's
calls,
move on.
and so we'll be good.
Okay.
All
right.
So keep it clean, folks.
Yeah,
That's
please.
As a Verbo host,
I have no further questions, Your Honor. We can go straight to the phone lines.
Sweet. Then we'll take the first call here. Caller, are you there? Oop, give me 1 second. It's just clicking. We've got like an hourglass here. There we go. Caller, are you there? Oop, let's try something here. Let's try that. I think I got
testing.
Look at that. What's the name, caller?
Hi, Alice. How are you guys?
Allison, awesome. Glad to have you on Mormonism Live with Radio Free Mormon and myself, Bill Reel, and our guest, Kody Brown.
Hi.
What would you like to share?
Hi, gentlemen.
Awesome. Thank you.
Hi, Kody. Listen, we have a lot of the same friends. It's not really a small world, or maybe it is. I'm a religious studies sociologist. I've studied fundamental Mormonism for 22 years. I simply wanted to call and thank you as someone has a heart for fundamentalist and Mormon fundamentalists. And this is a monumental interview of vulnerability from much less someone that's like a quasi, fundamentalist. I don't know, but your vulnerability and your humility is appreciated. That's all I.
Wow, did you see how his body language changed? I think he was expecting to get like just completely clobbered, and he seems so happy. Hold on 1 second. Mima, did you get another 5 memberships? Thank you so much. Mima for the win. Thank you. Thank you for gifting another 5 live memberships, you guys. If you did get a membership, start using your emojis now, please. Thank you, Mima. Let me see. Danny said she had to butter him up first before asking the real questions. Look at how his body language changed. This is insane. What else? Megan said, are these the live calls that included someone asking about Robin's ex? I hope so. Yes, stay tuned for that. Yes, it is. But his eyes just bugged out just a minute ago because I don't think he was expecting her to be like, thank you for the amazing service that you're doing. He's so happy now. This is like how Robin pumps him up. If you want to let his guard down, just feed him with the BS that Robin does. Perfect. It's perfect.
I will say thank you from the bottom of my heart. You guys have a great night.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it, Allison.
Thank you for the call. How does that make you feel, Kody?
Well, it's the first time I've been called humble. Thank you.
I think it is risky, right? To sit here and not know what questions we're going to ask, have no idea where the conversation's going to go. So there is a degree, certainly, of vulnerability, and we appreciate that.
Well, you guys are both, I think, both non-antagonistic ex-Mormons, and Bill and I are friends. So anyway, go ahead. Sorry,
We've never seen Bill riled.
I can be
reeled.
antagonistic a little bit.
I heard you two both poking a little bit.
Yeah, we do a little bit of that, but I also, I want to completely respect the fact that you've given us an evening of your time, and I told you in the beginning, this wasn't going to be a game of gotcha or trying to corner you. I really wanted to give you a chance to talk about the TV show, to talk about living polygamy, and to talk about your religious faith. And so I think we did that. All right. Caller, you are on. What is the name? Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, you're on the show. What's the name, caller?
My name is Kelly.
Oh, yes.
Kelp?
See, I was just wondering, you explained in the last episode how you thought a wife was disloyal if she kept her from her husband, but Robin does the same thing from her first husband. How do you explain that difference?
Robin never did that.
What?
He had
wait. Okay. Wait. Okay. We got to play that back. Okay. So it sucks because her the caller, her mic kept going in and out, but she was saying, we got to go back. Let me go back. I got to hear exactly what she said. We're going to dissect this like it was the Super Bowl. We're going back and we're doing it play by play. Hold on. Let me go back. What did she say?
From the bottom of my heart. You guys have a great night.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it, Allison.
Thank you for the call. How does that make you feel, Cody?
No.
Questions we're going to
Bill,
I
For Bill
can be
Reel.
we do a little
Come
bit
on.
and we're trying to talk about caller. You are on. What is the name? Hello?
Hello.
Yeah, you're on the show. What's the name, caller?
My name is Kelly.
Oh, yes.
Kelp?
See, I was just wondering. You explained in the last episode how you thought a wife was disloyal if she kept her from her husband.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Look at his face. Okay. So she said, we got to dissect this, right? Hold on. Okay. So the question was, you said last episode that if a wife was keeping kids from the husband, she's disloyal. Is that right? Hold up. Robin. The same thing. Okay, let's see. Okay, so I think this is what she said. If I'm misremembering, let me know. She said, you said last episode, so obviously it was something that was during. Oh, that would be interesting to see what was airing at that time, right? Whatever it was. I think if we're in season 19, I think that was season 18. But somewhere in there, that if a wife was keeping the kids away from the husband, she's disloyal. And she's saying Robin did the same thing, so isn't Robin disloyal? Let me see. Did I get that right or no? Liar is the lie emoji is everywhere because he's lying. And the lie detector says it. Look at his face. Okay, wait. Mama Cat says, let me clarify her question. Kody, how do you explain being a hypocrite? Agreed. Look at his face. He's trying to come up with a lie right now. Face, agreed. Agreed, Laura. Mima said, so he's disloyal for keeping himself from his kids. Yeah, basically. That's a good one, Megan. Agreed. Yeah, he's not. This is what he was expecting with the first caller. Exactly, Mouth. Do. Pants on fire. Yeah, agreed. Okay. So yeah, so basically that is what this lady is saying. Okay. Let's keep going. And he's about to say that's not what happened, but yes, it is.
But Robin does the same thing from her first husband. How do you explain that difference?
Robin never did that. He had access to them all the time.
Husband, he's dying of cancer. Do her kids know that?
Her kids have chosen. Well, let's go this direction. This is one I'm going to have to pass on, guys, because this is about somebody else and somebody else's life.
Wait a second. Oh, wait. Okay. So, wow, this is so interesting to me because he's saying that he doesn't want to talk about somebody else or somebody else's life. Didn't he just call Mary's friend a bee? Isn't that someone else in someone else's life? Right? But this he doesn't want to talk about. But he talks about other people's lives all the time. I don't even think anyone on the history of the show, even any of the wives that he calls catty, I don't think anyone's called any other woman or man a bee. I don't think so. So, which one is it? Or does it sound like a big ass excuse? Because it does to me. Hold on. Betty said her kid's frontal lobe, LOL, so can choose parents but not religious things. Oh, that's a good point. That is a good point. Danny said, I wholeheartedly believe Robin is in the room giving him the stop signal so he can stop because he was about to go in on the difference, but there is none. That's true. Yeah, he was about to speak on it and then he decided not to. Wait a second. What is this? Hold on. Black Swan Gothica said, we saw the text. We saw the reasoning behind the adoption lines. I didn't see the text. Where are they? I would love to go over that. Black Swan, let me know where I can find them for us to go over it again. I would love to see those. Coffee said, there's no way to answer it honestly and not look like the hypocrite he is. Full of crap. Yeah, this is ridiculous. Mima said, wow, I'm good at multitasking. I'm playing a game, keeping up with the chat, and watching IQ. That is actually pretty amazing and epic, Mima. Thank you, thank you. Dis said, Kody, I haven't seen you in forever, Dis. It's good to see you. Kody is an unserious man boy. I don't see the changing anytime soon. Even the death of his son can't make him see any errors on his own part. Well, that's what's going to be interesting because we haven't seen Kody post the tragedy. So maybe he'll be more humble. Maybe this is Kody before. Maybe new Kody will be a little humble. I mean, I don't know. I know, Resident MILF, I agree. So, Black Swan, let us know where we can get it. I would love to see those texts. Can you point me to the video so we can go over that? I would love to see that. Yeah, we need the texts. If you can just put the link of that video in this video when it's done being alive, like when it's an actual replay of the video. And even if it goes away, I will see it on the back end. Just put the link in that so I could see. I would so appreciate that. Even if Black Swan, if you can't find it, anyone else, if you know the reference video, just link it in. Just put a link in the comment section in this video. I would love that. Thank you. Okay, so let's keep going. So he's going to pass on that, even though he completely gets in other people's lives and talks about their lives. Okay, good to know.
I'm not interested in answering that question. Thank you.
Of course you're not.
I'll drop the call.
Thank you.
Yeah, no sweat. All right. And this will be the last call we've got. We usually take 3 calls, and this will be the 3rd one. Caller, you're on the air.
Hello?
What's the name?
Hi, is it me?
Yep, it's you. What's the name?
My name is Oh, awesome. My name is Amy L, and I'm calling from California.
Awesome.
And I wanted to ask Kody, do you still believe in eternal marriage and the covenant that you made, with all 4 of your wives? Do you expect to be reunited with any of your now ex-wives on earth in the afterlife?
No. I'm not saying I don't believe in eternal marriage, but I think that's on the merits of the marriage and how God judges it. I think the covenant of eternal marriage is something leadership, maybe Joseph Smith, they made up this stuff. And the reason that they made it up was because they wanted to give power of people over other people in a relationship. By the way, thank you for the question, Amy, but I totally believe that it's a control issue. And it's an issue of they introduced plural marriage at the same time they introduced eternal marriage. And what that did is that gave men the opportunity to have more than one wife, while the wife had the promise of having her husband indefinitely, because simply of the psychology of the 2 different sexes and what they look for in these relationships. So I'm not saying that I don't believe in eternal marriage, but I think that's on the merits of the marriage. And if you didn't have your stuff together or didn't like each other in this life, you're not together in the next life. And I argue that point with Robin's other mother all the time because she wants that marriage. She wants to own that man in the next life. And I feel bad for him because I'd be running from her. Hopefully she's not listening. Oh wait, God, can you guys edit that out? There's people that know that.
Let me say this, which if I hear you correctly, what I hear you saying is that it's not predicated on a ritual taking place. It's not predicated on an ordinance or priesthood power. Rather, you're taking more of like the general Christian view, maybe, that if there is anything, if you have any relationship in the life hereafter, it's going to be because all parties wanted that relationship and they loved so strongly that they wish that continued throughout beyond
Bill,
this life.
I'm not saying, Bill, that the ritual isn't necessary. I'm saying that the love in the marriage is necessary. I think that a loveless marriage, for people who are stuck in it because of a covenant. Now, covenant is just a contract, okay? And any business contract I go into can be exited or can be broken if one party or the other doesn't abide by what is there. But it can also be exited. Bill, if you and I have a business together, you and I can agree to dissolve the agreement, the contract. And that's all a covenant is a contract that you're making with God. And if you and your wife do not love each other with an eternal nature, then why would God hold you in that eternal prison? So I'm not a believer in eternal marriage where the parties aren't both willing to make that work or happy to have that experience. So personally, if I'm not in a good marriage with an ex-wife or something like that, or we don't make amends in this life somehow or something, no, I don't expect it to be eternal. And I'm still going on faith that we just like, I'm being real here. I hope in a hereafter. I don't know what it's like. I hope in a hereafter, possibly a resurrection, but it might just be a dirt nap.
Oh, okay. I have more questions now. So Kody just said that he would never want two people that don't love each other to be bound eternally together. Correct? Hold on. I want to pull this up because let me tell you why I'm a little bit confused. Give me a second. Let me pull it up. Let me tell you why I'm a little bit confused. I think it's this one. Oh, sorry. Okay. Yeah, here it is. Here it is. All right. Let's see. There we go. Because if that's the case, if he really feels as though when it comes to eternal marriage, that's not right for two people that don't love each other to be together eternally forever, then what is this? What is this?
To a lot of it, I will say this. When he called him, he wasn't even upset about Mary. He was upset. He instantly changed the subject from Mary to Christine and was basically just threatened and said, "You better not give Christine a release. I've done nothing to deserve this."
So, I mean, do you understand why I'm confused, guys? The reason the reason that I'm confused is I thought that if Christine didn't love you, then that shouldn't be right for her to be bound to you eternally. Why are you fighting it then? And I would love to know, was this around the same time? Now we're going to have to do a timeline. You know what? That's going to be part of it tomorrow. You know how I said we're going to dig into everything that he did in the interviews? Now I'm going to have to do a timeline as far as what the date was that he's had. Obviously, he had the interview, I think November 1st of 2023. When was the conversation of this when he was livid with the church leaders? I need to know in relation to him now saying that he doesn't think that they should be eternally bound. Obviously, he felt that he wanted to be with Christine at some point eternally, even if she didn't want to. So when did it change? Don't worry, we're going to dig more into it tomorrow. What are you guys saying? Let's see. Exactly, Mustang. But also, that also means that she would be bound to him eternally. So, and if he didn't believe it, why is he that pissed off if he didn't believe it? Coffee said he's deconstructing and very lost. Yeah. Danny said Kody didn't want the others to get the release because it made him look bad. It has nothing to do with him being eternally connected to her. Remember, he believes like Robin, once they have sex, the broken bond. Well, then it shouldn't matter if he was released or not, because that had already happened by then. Do you know what I mean, Danny? Yes, Leslie, when this video plays, like once we're done and it's just a regular replay, just put it in the comment section, please. And then it'll probably go away because I remove all hyperlinks from my comments, but I'll see it on the back end. That would be awesome if you could do that. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Ooh, thank you. Simply said, like number 118 an hour in. Come on, let's peanut butter IQ with some. That would be amazing. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so it is all ego. Agreed. But I think that I just found that kind of fascinating. So let's keep going. All right.
Yeah. If that's the case, it's just stuff to control humankind while we're here on Earth. And I don't like that. Yeah. I want my freedom to determine if we're going to stay together, and I want her to be free to choose. Now, I might be mad about how it went, but if she's not wanting to be with me, I'm not putting her in that prison. Yeah. That's wrong.
Yeah. I was watching a late night TV show. I can't remember what it was, but Keanu Reeves was the guest, and the host of the show said, Keanu, tell us about what you know to happen when we die. And the crowd sort of laughed, because who's Keanu Reeves to tell us anything about the hereafter? But his answer was beautiful, which is, he said, I know that the people who love us will miss us. And the added thing to that is, I would like to think that the people I love and who love me back would want to be with me more after this life is over. And so I think that hope is something that a lot of us have. And
yeah.
Anyway, I appreciate it. RFM, any closing comments from you? Otherwise, we can.
I will say that your last comments there, Kody, reminded me of something that President Oaks said in this most recent general conference. It hasn't gotten a lot of play yet, and I'm not sure I mentioned it a lot in my review of conference. But even in this LDS church, the Brighamite Church, or Joseph, whatever you want to call it, the Brighamite Church. You know what I'm talking about.
The modern LDS church.
Yeah, the real church.
You go.
One and only true and
the
living
ones who
church.
have the corporation.
Right, the one that Dallin Oaks is a president in. That's what I'm talking about. No, at the end of his talk,
the corporate claim to be in the real church.
Yeah.
It's the only true and living corporation.
Owns the trademarks
of God upon the face of the earth. That's what it is.
Stop! I gotta go to the bathroom. You're going to make me.
Really? Okay. Do you have to go to the bathroom right now? Because I'm almost done. No, let me quote him. Okay.
No, just
because even in this church that has, the what do you call it? The sealing power, and that's the big thing. And they got the keys, and they'll talk about it every conference to make sure the audience doesn't forget that they're the ones with the keys and nobody else. He appends in almost the strange way. It doesn't really have anything to do with anything else he said, but he wants to make sure that even in this church that has the sealing power, and you have to be sealed, you have to be married in the temple for time and eternity to reach the highest, degree of glory and celestial kingdom. We all know how that goes. And yet, probably responsive to pressures or comments from a lot of members of the church, he says this at the end. He says, we have a loving heavenly Father who will see that we receive every blessing and every advantage that our own desires and choices allow. Now get this. We also know that he will force no one into a sealing relationship against his or her will. The blessings of a sealed relationship are assured for all who keep their covenants, but never by forcing a sealed relationship on another person who is unworthy or unwilling. And then he closes with his testimony.
Now, don't like the unworthy or unwilling, because no, was that just the inclusion or was that the caveat?
It's like anybody who's these sealed relationships, i.e., your marriages, for crying out loud, right?
Yeah.
Your marriages is what he's talking about. It's like you have to get married in the temple by the right priesthood authority with the right keys in order to make it to the top of the celestial kingdom. But it's like he's
Right.
allowing that once you die and the resurrection happens, it's going to be a free-for-all.
By the way, isn't this the same church that requires you to write the First Presidency a letter and to request a temple cancellation, and they have the ability to say no?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, just wanted to check. Great.
It was a strange thing. And I know that he's saying that because he's getting pressures, but it sounds like there's a lot of people out there who aren't really satisfied with the idea of spending forever with their current spouse and want to maybe do an upgrade in the resurrection.
Well, polygamy and hypergamy, that's
Yep.
what my church would teach. They would agree with him, because we're going to take these women who don't like their husband and allow them to have the husband of their choice. And, you know, in the history of my own family, I had Brigham Young release one of Lorenzo Dow Young's wives from him and sealed her to Joseph Smith.
You know, and Dallin Oaks says these things, and I don't think he ever thinks like one step ahead of what he's saying. Because obviously, if that is the case, President Oaks, then you're going to have the possibility and indeed the eventuality of having men stripped of their wife, which makes them not eligible now
And
for
that's
the
against,
for the
that goes-
celestial kingdom. They can't be
that-
exalted now because they don't have their wife, and it's all because their wife really didn't like him that much. And is
And
this
it
the
goes
way
against-
heavens run?
it goes against everything that's written in the Old Testament. It's the Old Testament. I'm sorry to say this, and I don't mean to be disparaging to women in any way, but the Old Testament was very much about property rights, and you couldn't strip a man of his wife in the Old Testament. And finally, Moses authorizes a writ of a divorcement.
Mm-hmm.
And Jesus says later on, divorce is because of the hardness of your heart. And I get that. I get that hardness of your heart. And if you were truly righteous, we wouldn't have divorce. If we were truly righteous, we wouldn't force people into marriages. If we were truly righteous, we would give counseling, premarital counseling. If we were truly righteous, we wouldn't force people to stay married to somebody who was a crook just because they were sealed.
And yet the problem with this theory, I think, is that none of us are truly righteous.
Yeah.
Hence the bills
Listen,
of divorcement.
I believe that in the end, either we make choices and we find people. Here's the thing: I have a real belief that unrequited love is some other disconnect from an energetic experience. If she doesn't want to be married to you, dude, you're an idiot. If you want,
You're an
to
idiot
force
for pursuing her.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. She like Lorenzo Dow Young's own wife wanted a release, said she wasn't happy, and Brigham Young sealed her to Joseph Smith.
Okay, so it's obvious that Kody is reflecting on his own life, right? Talking about unrequited love. So who do you think he's talking about? Because what he's admitting here is that he has romantic feelings for one of his wives that doesn't want him back. Mary, like we know that he could care less about Mary. Always out. Doesn't matter about Mary. Okay, so do you think at this point, do you think he's talking about Janelle or do you think he's talking about Christine in this very moment? Chat, let me know what you think. Because obviously he's giving an example, but he's talking about, he reflected on his own life. So we know he's not talking about Robin being an unrequited love because it's reciprocal. So who do you think he's talking about right now? Right now. Agreed. I mean, I get what you're saying, Danny, but remember, this was filmed during season 19. So not what we're, well, actually, yeah, what we are watching now, I guess, yeah, what we are watching now. But Christine was just married 3 weeks before this. He cried. I don't know if you were here, Danny. This is just my opinion. When we were watching part 1, he was crying about basically kind of how he treated Christine. We're going to go back to that. We're going to do the highlights tomorrow. But I feel like this is just me. I feel like he still has Christine on the brain. But maybe it is about Janelle too. Maybe the unrequited love is both of them. Anyway, what do you guys think? Could be Christine and Janelle, Mama Cat said. Tracy thinks Christine. Shanna B thinks Janelle. You know what? I think that we're going to have to do a poll. Thank you, Marie, for becoming a member. Marie Liggum. Welcome her. That's amazing. Thank you for supporting the channel. We love to see green in chat. Amazing. Let's do a poll. Give me a second. I think that this requires a poll. Let me see. What we're going to do is I want to know, chat, and please participate. Hold on. Okay. So let me do the poll. Start a poll, and it's going to be who is Kody's quote unquote unrequited love? Is it Christine? Is it Janelle? Or is it Christine and Janelle? Okay. There we go. There is the poll. The poll is up. Who is Kody's unrequited love? Is it Christine? Is it Janelle? Is it Christine and Janelle? Let me know what you guys think. Wouldn't that be great? Could we, for the first time in history, there are 260 people watching. Can we get 260 votes? That would kind of be epic. That's never happened to me before. If everyone could just participate, I would love that. If not, that's fine. I get it. I do get it. But what say you? Right now we have 37 votes. Oh my gosh, it's like so close. Right now, Janelle is slightly in the lead, but it's pretty much like at 33% right now. So who is Kody's unrequited love that he's talking about right now? Christine? Is it Janelle? Or is it Christine and Janelle? I'm going to keep that up as he keeps talking about his unrequited love. Actually, let me tap it back. Let me tap it back just a little bit when he talks about unrequited love.
Some other disconnect from an energetic experience. If she doesn't want to be married to you, dude, you're an idiot. If you want,
you're an
to
idiot
force
for pursuing her.
Yes.
Yeah.
She like Lorenzo Dow Young's own wife wanted to release, said she wasn't happy, and Brigham Young sold her to Joseph Smith. Released her and sold her to Joseph Smith. And this the reason I know this story is because Lorenzo Dow Young is one of my great-great-grandfathers.
Yes. He was the founder
Weird.
of Dow Chemicals, I think.
No, he wasn't.
Oh, I said I think.
Allegedly.
So, Radio Free Mormon, your picture, your iconic picture, not you now, but your iconic picture looks like a Mormon stake president.
Really? I look that well off, do I?
Yeah. You're nice and clean shaven, the perfectly colored hair. A nice.
And it's funny that what made you think
tie.
of it was when I mentioned Dow Chemicals, i.e., hugely successful and lots of money. And then you say, you look like a stake president.
I'm not an heir to that. So anyway, it's been great, guys.
Yeah. It's been
Thank you
ton of
so much
fun.
for coming on the show, Kody. I will let
You're
Bill
welcome.
finish it out, but I wanted to thank you so much for coming on the show, being vulnerable, telling us like it is for you right now at this point in your life.
Okay, so let me go back. I'm gonna end the poll now. I want to see what you guys are saying. Okay, so 43%. I'm ending it now. 44% said Kody's unrequited love was Janelle. With coming in second was 31% with Christine, and then 24% Christine and Janelle. That was interesting. Okay. Wow. That was very enlightening. And hold on. Let me tap back a little bit. Let me see. There we go. Sorry. That was very enlightening. What the hell happened? Oh, that's why. There we go. And there's still a lot that we have to go over. All of the highlights, all of the questions that we have from parts 1, parts 2, parts 3, that we have to dissect a little more. We have to research it a little bit more. We didn't have time because I would have been stopping every 2 seconds to figure stuff out. So we're going to have an awakening tomorrow. It's going to be the fans strike back tomorrow. It's going to be a dissection and actually having time to really review everything, to really study what this man said, to have a trip in being fluent in Kody 101, at least very entry level stuff, because I definitely am not an expert. So that's going to be interesting. Thank you, Gabrielle. At the time of the interview, he was still trying to get Janelle back. Very true. See, I always have to see this. Great point, Danny. Now I have to go back and see what Danny said. What did Danny say? Danny said, at Colleen, I think he knew once she left, the others would follow, but it hurt because he never thought she would leave. It stunned him. Is that Christine or Janelle? Is that Christine or Janelle? Anyway, yeah. Very fascinating, very interesting. Let's do the greatest hits and dissection and research. I will schedule the live. We'll do it again tomorrow night. I'll schedule the live. If not tonight, then by tomorrow morning. But it's probably going to be the same time, same place tomorrow. You guys are amazing. Thanks so much for hanging out. You make this so much fun. You ask such good questions and you have such good comments, and you guys just bring the snark and the sarcasm. You bring it all. You make this so much fun. Thank you, Mima, for the gifted memberships. Thank you, Marie, for becoming a member. Thanks so much for supporting the channel. You don't know how much that means to little old me and this channel. So I so appreciate it. You know what we're going to do? We're going to have to, I'm going to dedicate a song to you, Kody, because, you know, it's very fitting. And I don't know, until I can find a better song that is more appropriate, I feel like I'm going to keep using it. But let's go ahead. Where is it? Here we go. Kody, this one is for you. You guys have a good night. I will see you tomorrow.
Tell the whole world. Tell the world. And then go
I got to go back. You guys have to see this from the beginning. Hold on. All right. There we go.
No, tell the whole world. Tell the world. And then go hang out with your buddy Christine.
Each describe Kody in 3 words.
Just 3?
Yes.
Deadbeat.
Okay.
Dad. Sorry, that's 2, but deadbeat dad and deadbeat, he is selfish. Deadbeat.
You haven't seen one of them for a year.
Deadbeat.
This is about a deadbeat dad.
You're hurting this family,
Deadbeat.
no one else. You're not loyal, just like your mother. And I was like, okay.
Why are you angry with your children? You haven't seen 2 of them for 5 months.
Deadbeat.
I'm going to move forward and find happiness and joy outside of my club.
Each describe Kody in 3 words.
Just 3.
Yes.
Deadbeat.
Okay.
Dad. Sorry, that's 2, but deadbeat dad and deadbeat.
The rest of the kids don't really have much of any kind of connection with him.
You haven't seen one of them for a year.
Deadbeat.
This is about a deadbeat dad.
Deadbeat.
Why are you angry with your children?
You a deadbeat.
Deadbeat. He is selfish. Deadbeat. He seems to be sort of like, I don't know, like the reality is bewildering to him, kind of. Deadbeat.
Divorced, and then the father just goes MIA.
A deadbeat dad speaks from prison and explains the question so many people are asking: what went wrong?